Hello, and welcome to Mrs. Farmer and Friends Family Reading Hour. We are so excited that you're taking the time to listen to stories, learn new activities, do book discussions, and find out some new moves. But before you get started viewing Mrs. Farmer and Friends Family Reading Hour, I just want to provide you with an update. The songs that I sing for opening and closing, I don't have the rights to. The opening song sang, I used to sing to toddlers when I was a toddler teacher. And the closing song was actually sung by an actor who used that song at the end of her show. I just thought those two songs were perfect for this family reading hour. And I just wanted to make you aware of that. So, without further ado, welcome to Mrs. Farmer and Friends Family Reading Hour. See you soon. Let us all get together. Let us all get together. Let us all get together because it's reading time. I see Wendy and Lisa and Becca. I see Eric and Walter and Johnny. I see Larry and Marie and Sally because it's reading time. Let us all get together. Let us all get together. Let us all get together because it's reading time. Hi, friends and family, and welcome to another story time with Mrs. Farmer and Friends Family Reading Hour. As you can see, I have my friends here with me, and they are looking so forward to sharing with you a cooking activity, a discussion, and a work up, wind down activity. But before we get started, as always, I have to let you know who made this possible, who I need to thank. I need to thank, first up, Champions for Early Education, the United Way of Southeastern Pennsylvania and Southern New Jersey, the Free Library of Philadelphia, Read by Fourth, and Get Healthy Philly, the Let's Get Moving initiatives. Without them, none of this would be possible. Again, the reason why I have this family reading hour is that there are so many things going on social media, reading, singing, activities, exercises. Mrs. Farmer just thought, why not just bring them all together? And that's what I did. So, in this episode, we're going to read one of Mrs. Farmer's and probably your favorite book. It's called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. We'll get to see what happens when you give a mouse a cookie. The book is actually written by Laura Joff Numeroff, and the person who drew the pictures, the illustrator, is Felicia Bond. Yeah, so there's a person who writes the story, and many times there's a person who draws the pictures, and that's the illustrator. So actually, two people had the chance to put this book together. Let's read. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. When he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. He's such a neat mouse. A straw, then a napkin? Then he'll want to look in the mirror and make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. Now, a milk mustache. Many people have mustaches. Some men, sometimes some ladies. But when you drink milk, sometimes the milk hits up on your top lip and you end up with a mustache. So the mouse was just double checking that he didn't have a milk mustache. When he looks into the mirror, he might notice that he needs a trim. Now, some of you may go to the barber or to the hair salon, and sometimes they cut your hair. But this time, if you note trim, a trim is when you don't need so much hair taken off. So it might be just a little bit. So the mouse noticed that he needed a trim. So he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. So the nail scissors were small enough just for a trim, just to take a little bit of hair off his head. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. Isn't that so nice that he wants to clean up behind himself? When you make a mess, do you clean up? That's taking responsibility. That's another word. I think I'm going to have to add that to my word wall. Responsibility. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. I need that mouse at my house. What about you? He may even end up washing the floors as well. He's really taking responsibility to another limit. When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. Why do you think he wants to take a nap? He swept the floors all through the house, and then he washed the floors. So I guess he will be tired. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. He'll crawl in and make himself comfortable and fluff the pillow a few times. How many of you do that before you go to bed? Fluff the pillow. Mrs. Farmer likes her pillows fluffed. He'll probably ask you to read him a story. So you'll read from one of your books, and he'll ask to see the pictures, just like now. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited. He'll want to draw one of his own. He'll ask for paper and crayons. And there he goes. He'll draw a picture. When the picture is finished, he'll want to sign his name. He has a family, just like you have a family. I have a family. Auntie Becca has a family. Wendy Wickles has a family. Lisa has a family. So he'll want to sign his name with a pen. So when you sign your name on your drawing, it lets everybody know that you made it. Take a look at that picture behind me of the mother and child. If I brought it up real close, you'll see that the person who painted that picture actually signed their name. So that's the same thing the mouse wanted to do. Then he'll want to hang the picture on your refrigerator, which he will need some scotch tape. He'll hang his drawing and want to stand back and look at it. Looking at the refrigerator will remind him. What do you think looking at the refrigerator will remind him? That he's so thirsty. Oh. New word, thirsty. When you're thirsty, your body tells you that it needs something to drink. Mrs. Farmer has a bottle of water. So when I'm thirsty, I drink water, just like my friends, lovely Lisa, Auntie Becca, and Wendy Wiggles. When we're thirsty, we drink water. Sometimes Mrs. Farmer has lemonade too. So he'll ask for a glass of milk. And what do you think will happen if he gets the milk? And chances are, if he asks for a glass of milk, he's going to want a cookie to go with it. And that's the end of our story. If you give a mouse a cookie. Well, guess what, my friends? Auntie Becca is baking something delicious. What do you think she's going to bake today? Well, I'm going to let Auntie Becca tell you. Auntie Becca, take it away.
Thank you, Mrs. Farmer, and thank you for inviting me to be here today. Hi, everyone. It's so good to see you. Just like Mrs. Farmer said, I've got my oven preheating, and we are going to make a cookie, a giant skillet cookie. So a skillet is a kind of pan that you can see. I have one here in my hand. This is made out of cast iron, which is a really tough metal. It's very heavy. And this is a 10-inch skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, that is not a problem. You can use any like a pie plate or a aluminum foil pan, kind of whatever you have. But I'm going to be using a skillet today to make one big cookie that I can share with my family. So for our recipe, the ingredients that we will need are butter, 6 tablespoons of room temperature butter in a big bowl. We're going to need brown sugar. I have light brown sugar, but if you have dark brown sugar, that's fine. And that is 1/3 of a cup. We're going to put that in with our butter. I always pre-measure all of my ingredients so I can just quickly add them together, but you can measure as you go if you want to. Then with our brown sugar and our butter, we're going to add some white sugar, 1/2 cup of white sugar I have in this bowl. Stir that right in there. Then I'm going to take my wooden spoon and I'm just going to give that a really good mix. Just got to make sure it gets all combined and that it starts to look nice and uniform. And uniform is when it all looks the same, or like we said the last time, homogeneous. So you can see in my bowl that it's all starting to look the same color, which is what we want to see. I got some lumps in my brown sugar. That's okay. I'm going to mash them with my wooden spoon. This is a good way to get out some energy. All right. Once we have that all combined, we're going to add 1 egg, which we're going to crack just on the edge of the bowl or on the counter. I like to use the edge of the bowl. Very carefully put our egg in. This part can be messy. Eggs can be messy. I'm going to throw my eggshell in my trash can. And then we're going to add some vanilla that I have here. I use a lot of vanilla. That's why I have such a big bottle. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're just going to measure that. Pour that right in there. And we're going to stir again. Oh. A little trickier to stir because now it's more liquidy than solid. But we're just going to keep stirring again just until it all starts to combine. So you can kind of see in there how it looks. And you can see the difference now with the egg in there that it's not as stiff. And we like that. So there we go. That's looking good. Now we're going to add our dry ingredients, which means ingredients that have no liquid in them. So we're going to add flour, which I think this is a cup of flour. You can check the recipe for the amount. 1 cup of flour. We're just going to stir that right in. We have some salt, some table salt, about 1/2 teaspoon. That goes in. And then baking powder, also about 1/2 teaspoon. And that goes in. And we're going to stir it up. And again, we want to be careful because sometimes flour can really get everywhere. That's why I always wear an apron when I'm baking, so that I can keep my clothes neat. Stirring, stirring, stirring. Whew, this is a workout. All right, and then again, just once we start to see that this mixture is coming together and it's all looking very similar, then we're going to add my favorite ingredient, chocolate chips. We're going to put 1 cup of chocolate chips in, but if you put in extra, I won't tell anybody. And then can you guess what we're going to do next? Stir it up. So we just want to make sure that our chocolate chips get mixed through. And now you can see in our batter, look at what that looks like. You can see our chocolate chips in there. It's very exciting. And then we're going to take it and we're going to put it into our cast iron pan. Now, if you're not using a cast iron pan, you should put some baking spray or take a paper towel with butter and put that all through whatever you're going to bake in, just so the cookie doesn't stick. We don't want the cookie to stick to the pan. So we're just going to scrape this whole big mixture into our pan. And we're going to smooth it out so that it's all nice and flat. This you probably want your grown-ups to help with because I'm having a difficult time and I'm a grown-up. So grown-ups can help you with the sticky dough. All right, and then we're going to put it, once we got it nice and smooth, you can see how it looks in our pan here. Looks yummy, right? And we're going to put this in our oven, and we're going to be very careful. You know, like I said before, whenever we're using the stove or the oven, it's very hot, and it's important that we are being very safe when we use the oven. Definitely only with big people, with adults. All right, I'm going to put this in the oven, and then I'm going to set my timer for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to come back, and you'll get to see how delicious our cookie is.
Thank you, Auntie Becca. I can't wait until the cookie is ready. I'm going to have my glass of milk. I will not be having water. But let's stop for a minute. We were introduced to a whole lot of new words. Thirsty, mustache, trim, responsibility, similar, uniform, homogeneous. Woo! If you know, Mrs. Farmer has started her word wall or her word door. I put two words from a previous story I had before. I just have to darken it with my marker. So the next time you come, you'll get to see those words and also all of those new words we were just introduced to. Families, adults, remember to add new words to your child's vocabulary. Read by Forth in the free library actually makes that suggestion. Use it as often as you can in daily conversation. Make it as natural as possible, like it's the everyday thing that you do. It builds the vocabulary as well. Also, if you take note, Auntie Becca was using some math. She was measuring things. That's part of literacy too, incorporating math. She told us how much was in each cup. She also told us what the temperature was in the stove, those are numbers, and how long it would take. Math can be a part of literacy as well. So we've learned a whole lot in just one friend already. But you know what? In reading a book, sometimes it's best just to stop and have a discussion about the book. You've heard of book clubs. Well, today we're going to have a little mini book club today, and we're going to do it with my friend, Miss Lovely Lisa. Miss Lovely Lisa, we're ready to talk about the book.
I am so excited. Hi, everyone. It's so great to be here together, to be here with all of you. And we're going to get to do one of my favorite things, talk about things. So we're going to talk about the book, and we're going to talk with all these lovely ladies about what we thought of that wonderful story. So I liked so many things about it. But to use a word we talked about earlier, responsibility, I think this book talks about responsibility and how when we do something, when we have an action, that action can cause a reaction. And so if I'm nice to you, you will want to be nice to me. And so, yeah, I think responsibility is a big thing I got from this book, is just that we are important and what we do matters. And it affects other people, and that affects other people. And so it's really important that we pay attention to the things we do and say to people. What did you ladies think?
I thought that the boy, he didn't get angry at all. He made sure that the needs of the mouse were met, from having the milk, the cookie, the scissors to trim, the broom to sweep,
Yeah.
the bucket and the water to wash the floors, the paper and the crayons to draw. He made sure that the mouse, all of his needs at the time were met. That's a good friend. That's what I thought.
That is so true. There was so much patience and kindness, I think, between the two of them, you know? Like, oh, you let me trim my hair, I'm going to sweep up the mess. Like, so much. But yes, what do you think, ladies?
I noticed that too. It seemed like the boy really cared about the mouse and he listened to him. That's what I think is a good friend. When someone understands what I need and helps me with it, they helped each other. And I even noticed that the mouse wanted to help back and did some of the sweeping. They really cooperated and worked together. What a great friendship.
So true.
Yeah, I liked that too. And I really liked that the mouse actually wanted to draw a picture for the boy and he wanted to put it up on his refrigerator. As you can see, my refrigerator, I have a lot of pictures behind me. And some of those were pictures that were colored by friends of mine. And I like to have them where I can see them. So a reminder, when we're not always together, that there are still people that care about me. So that's what I really liked about this story.
I love that. And I just thought it was so funny with the mouse skating on the paper with the crayon. That was just great, like having way too much fun making the picture. But yes, I think, there's so many things we could talk about where that book, that were discussed in the book. And it is exciting to know that whether we're big people and adults or little people, that the things that we do and say to people really matter. And that when we're kind, we get kindness back. When we smile, it's like someone smiles at you, you always want to smile back. It's almost automatic, and so the way we behave in the world makes a difference and affects other people, that affects other people. And so what we do and how we are matters. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons I got out of this book.
Thank you, lovely Lisa. What a nice way to wrap up this book. I thought we pulled out so many good ideas and ways to be able to help other people, even though we cannot be with them. Parents, you can do the same thing when reading a book. Stop and pause, have a discussion, talk about the things that are going on in your life. It makes reading the book that much more meaningful and also very endearing, not only to your child, but also to you. Lovely Lisa, I love that book discussion. We're going to have to do that again another time.
We must. Yes. Thank you for letting me discuss.
Thank you.
Oh.
Now, we've been sitting for a moment here. We've been listening to Mrs. Farmer read. We've had a book discussion. We saw some cooking demonstration. But I think right now there's some things going on with my body. I don't, Wendy Wiggles, I think I need to get the wiggles out.
All right, is it time to move our bodies? Yes. I've been having so much fun talking with everyone and learning about the cookies. Let's get up and do some wiggling and moving. I think it's time. We read a story about a mouse. So how about we can use our imagination and we can pretend to be like a little mouse. My mouse has some big ears. Can you all make some big ears? All right, everybody. We're going to try some mouse pokey. Put your mouse ears in. Put your mouse ears out. Put your mouse ears in. And you shake them all about. You do the mouse pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Mouse pokey. I remember in the story, the mouse had a cool little mousy nose. Put your mouse nose in, put your mouse nose out, put your mouse nose in, and you shake it all about. You do the mouse pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Mouse pokey. All right, great job. How about some little mouse claws? They don't really have hands like we do. Let's pretend we have mouse claws. Put your mouse claws in, put your mouse claws out, put your mouse claws in, and you shake them all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Mouse pokey. I think my dog Rocky likes this song too. How about our mouse belly? Can you touch your belly? Put your mouse belly in, put your mouse belly out, put your mouse belly in, and you shake it all about. You do the mouse pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Mouse pokey. All right, this one's going to be kind of silly. I'm going to pretend I have a little mouse tail. Put your mouse tail in. Put your mouse tail out. I have some yarn. There you go. Put your mouse tail in and you shake it all about. You do the mouse pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Mouse pokey. All right, mice. Put your whole mouse body in. Put your mouse body in. Put your mouse body out. Put your mouse body in. And you shake it all about. You do the mouse pokey and you turn yourself around. Woo! That's what it's all about. Mouse pokey. Whoa, that's so much fun using our imagination and pretending we're like mice moving our body. Now that we got our body warmed up and we have our breath going and our blood's pumping, let's keep it going. I'm going to pretend to lift some weights and get my mouse muscles going. And my body, I have some muscles in my arm, and I want to make them stronger. I saw Auntie Becca was stirring that cookie dough. She was using her muscles. So let's keep our muscles built up like that. I have some milk jugs. You might have something at home you can lift up. Maybe you have a milk jug or a can, or just want to just lift your arms up. We're going to count. I put some water in mine to make it a little bit heavy. So here we go. We're going to lift them up 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job, everybody. 6. We can do it. 7, 8. We're almost there. 9, 10. Woohoo! Give yourselves a hand. Great job. All right, now we got our muscles really going. Let's see, what else can we do? How about some exercise? We're going to do a few more exercises. How about we try some mouse jumps? Can you give me 5 mouse jumps? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. All right, how about some knee lifts? Find your knees. And we're going to lift our knees up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. This one's a little tricky. Are you all ready to try something different? We're going to open up our body like we're a giant star. Then we have to jump up and make our hands come together. That's called a jumping jack. Here we go. We're going to do 5 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woohoo! Great job. I don't know about you, but I feel that my blood's going and I'm breathing. It feels so good. Let's take a deep breath together and start to bring it down a little bit. I noticed in the book, when the mouse was busy after he did all his cleaning, he needed to take a rest too. So we're going to help our bodies after we get our exercise. It's always good to help our bodies calm down. We're going to take another breath and blow it out. This time, let's try reaching one arm up. Stretch your one mouse arm up and stretch it over to one side. That's a great stretch for a side of our body. Take a nice breath again. Great job, everybody. Now we can do the other side. Stretch your other arm up really high, like you're going to touch the sky, and stretch it over. Nice job. Take that deep breath. Great job, everyone. Now you can take both arms up, way up top, like you're going to push the clouds up in the sky. Stretch it up. Wow, that's always great to take care of our bodies after we get that exercise. And can you fold it all the way down now? Ooh, good job. Now we can put that all together. Try this rhyme with me. We're going to bend and stretch. Reach for the stars. There goes Jupiter. Here comes Mars. One more time. Bend and stretch. Reach for the stars. There goes Jupiter. Here comes Mars. We just took a mouse trip right out into the universe with the stars. Do we need to take one more breath to calm down? I like to kind of reach my arms up when I do that. Do you notice that, guys? Let's try that again. Reach your arms up. It's like we're a balloon, and then we just let all the air out. And it's always great when we get all that great exercise. Like when the mouse got thirsty, we have to take care of our bodies after we exercise and have a nice drink of water to keep hydrated. So when we're thirsty, drink our water. take care of our healthy bodies. Thank you for wiggling today with me, everybody. That was awesome.
Wendy Wiggles, thank you. I feel so much better. I feel really rejuvenated. New word, rejuvenate. Energized. I'm not tired anymore. I can go for a longer time. That was such a great exercise. Auntie Becca, is the cookie ready?
Not quite. We have a couple more minutes and it needs to stay in the oven.
Okay, Auntie Becca. So what we'll do, we'll come back to see how that cookie is going. But let's go back to think about all the things we've learned today based on just this one book. We've learned some new words: thirsty, mustache, trim, responsibility, homogeneous, uniform, rejuvenate. Wait until you visit me next time. This whole door will be filled. We also started a book discussion with my friend Lovely Lisa, taking the time to find out what's meaningful to us and our family is a nice way to connect through a book. We also did some wonderful exercises and calming down with Wendy Wiggles, something to incorporate in our day all the time if we can. What a wonderful way to be able to connect that with our book as well. So I'm going to sing our ending song, and I think by the time we sing the ending song, the cookie may be ready. The fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, let me end with our song. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or take deep breaths. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. So long, my friends. Thank you for coming to this episode. We're going to check in with Auntie Becca just one more time. And if the cookie isn't ready, we'll know what to do, because Auntie Becca's going to send us the recipe. And if you want the recipe to the storybook, the book discussion, or the exercise, you just email Mrs. Farmer at Mrs. Farmer Reading Hour. She still doesn't have an email address, .com. That's Mrs. Farmer's Reading Hour. Still waiting on that email address, .com. And we'll see you the next time. Cookie ready, Auntie Becca?
The cookie looks ready. I'm going to get it out of the oven. I have my safety precautions, my oven mitt, and my other hot pot to protect my hands from the hot pan. It smells so good, you guys. Ooh. Well, we're almost ready. Instead of tilting it, I'm going to tilt my computer down.
Ooh,
That looks amazing.
In a minute, but you can see how it's getting nice and crunchy and brown around the edges. That's that this cookie is baking.
okay.
Looks
So
delicious.
if you want that recipe and any other recipes that we'll be still cooking on this show, just remember to send your request to. Okay, goodbye for now, friends. Goodbye.